are back to do another DIY. So this one is going to be for melt and pour soap. I just wanted to kind of start by showing you just a couple of different types that I have on hand currently, and then we'll get into the actual soap I'm going to make today. So this right here is a double butter glycerin melt and pour soap. It has shea and mango butters. Uh, this one here, this is a honey glycerin soap, so there's honey infused in it. So it's not going to be super clear, but it is a clear soap. There are soaps that are just completely clear that have nothing in them. So that's an option. Here's another melt and pour soap that I have on hand right now. That one is has tea tree oil in it. So there are different ones that you can get, and you can see different sizes also. Craft stores carry them, online soap shops carry them. So there are different ones that you can get. So we'll be back and we'll start the soap we're going to make today. We're actually going to use the honey glycerin soap for the soap that I want to make today. Okay, so I'm back. I took that big chunk of honey glycerin soap out and have started the process of cutting it up, and I'm gonna need to measure out a pound. That was a 5-pound block. So you want to cut it up because it just melts better in the microwave. It melts more evenly because you need to melt this down in order to incorporate your fragrance and potential coloring if you want to add that. And it just melts better if you have it chunked. So I'm going to now have to make sure that I actually have a pound. So we'll use our scale and the measuring cup that I'm going to use to actually melt the soap to measure that out. Okay, I got my scale turned on. I'm going to add the cup to it and then just kind of tear it out so that it's down to 0, and just start adding the chunks until I get the amount I want. So like I said, I'm gonna get to a pound. I'll probably break this up into 2 and have 8 ounces in this cup, and then 8 ounces in another cup. Then we'll pop it in the microwave for 30-second intervals, because again, we don't want to overheat the soap. And I will be back. Okay, we're back. We have our 2 8 ounces of honey soap cut up. We also have a wooden stick to stir it as we heat it up. We have our fragrance that we're going to use today. Today we're going to do a spiced cranberry. You're going to need alcohol, 99% alcohol. You're going to need whatever molds you're using. So I'm going to be using these square silicone molds. I always keep a smaller mold but nearby so that if I actually don't have enough soap to make a full bar, then I'm not going to waste that bar. I can put it in a mold, use it for something else, give it away as a sample, what have you. Okay, so before we get to the melting, I wanted to just talk to you really quickly about the fragrance. So I'm going to be using spiced cranberry today. This is one I got from the Virginia Candle Supply Company, and very good quality oils. You can find them online if you just look up Virginia Candle Supply. What I like about how they do their bottles is they tell you what your flash point is, percent of vanilla, which is going to be important because vanilla can change the color of things. So you just kind of need to know that. I'm going to be using mica, so that's going to be less of an issue. But the thing about the flash point is, what it's telling you is if you're making soap, candles, there's a lot of items you can put this in. The flash point for this particular oil is 177 degrees Fahrenheit. So basically, you want to let whatever you're using be less than that when you're mixing it. And I also like the fact that they tell you a percentage So for soaps, you want to use less than 1% to volume. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure out the percentage, put that in here. Today, I'm going to use Eye Candy mica, and the color I have is Baku Red, but I'm also going to mix in a little of my Stardust mica, and this is Red Strawberry. So I'm going to take the percentage suggested, put it in here, add my micas, stir it up. Then we will start the process of melting our soap down 30-second intervals. Take that out, stir it. You don't want to overheat your soap. You also want to make sure that you have your thermometer at hand so that you can see what temperature your soap is. And then we'll be back once I have this melted down. Our liquids and mica, our fragrance and mica mixed in, and then I'll show you kind of how we make the soap. Okay, we are back. We have our soap that is been melted. We did 30 seconds, and then I did a second 30 seconds, and then I just had a couple of little stubborn pieces that didn't want to melt all the way. So had to do another 20 seconds. And so when I do a quick temperature check, see if we can get you to focus. We're at 131, which is a good temperature for our liquid, because remember the liquid we're using is 177 flash point. So we have our mica and liquid in our cup are ready to go. And so we're just going to stir this up. Sometimes just have to stir a little more just so that the color can get incorporated. You get a little bit of mica that stays at the bottom. So what I like to do is take my bottle of 99% isopropyl alcohol, just spray it into my container so I can get all that mica out, and continue to get that stirred and incorporated. So I'm just gonna get that stirred up. Then we will be ready to pour it into our molds. Okay, so we have our soap mixed together like we like. So that's the color I was going for. And really it's just as simple as pouring into your mold to fill it up. I got these silicone molds actually off of Amazon. They work really well, give me a great consistent shape. As you see, these particular ones have designs embedded at the bottom. So what I would do is pour these in. With melt and pour soap, you don't have to let it cure like with cold processed soap. So once it's hardened, it actually really is ready to use right away. So like I told you before, I have, some in here, and it's not enough to make, another bar of soap. So that's when I would just pour it into my little extra back here, let that harden along with the rest. And that's really about it on the pour. The only other thing that you see, these bubbles, you want to get rid of those with your soap. And the easiest way to do it is just take your alcohol and spray the tops. I spray even like a couple of those you didn't see bubbles, and I spray them anyway. Spray the alcohol on top, let it cure. It takes maybe about 2 hours or so to get really hard. I like to let it sit a little longer. And that's just simple melt and pour. You can add glitter, you can add shapes, you can do two different colors, but this was just a basic kind of beginner tutorial. And what I will do is once the soaps have cured and I've taken them out, I will insert some pictures so that you can see what the final product of this spiced cranberry soap looks like. Again, thanks for joining us with another DIY. I hope you are finding these helpful. Please let me know if there's some that you would like for me to do. I don't know how to make everything, but like I've said, I love trying things. So, we could try something together and see how it works out. Thanks again. Please visit our website if you're interested in purchasing some of our products. It's nawabafifi.com. And see you guys soon.